Hi guys, it's Jessica here for some Dolly updates and blabberings. I actually have a lot of things to talk about as usual. First thing that I did want to say was the hats. People are expressing a lot of interest in these hats that I've been making. They are old-fashioned newspaper boy style flat caps, and they are for sale. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to show a bunch of different ones that I have made briefly. And so if you're interested in buying one, you can. A lot of these that I'm going to show are actually already claimed by other people, but that's to give you an idea of the kind of like fabrics and colors that I have, so that and give you an idea of maybe something that you would like if you're interested. And what I'll say is that they are $25, and I make them in the SD size, like my People 60 Karsh is wearing. They generally fit size 8 to 9 size heads. I do have my Chiwu, who is a 9-10, and they fit him good too. And then I have the MSD size that fit size 7, 8, and 6, 7. 6 to 7 and 7 to 8 size. And I also can make a little in-between size too, in between those, if you have a preference for that. So like I said, they're $25 a piece. It doesn't matter if they are SD or MSD. MSD are more difficult because they're tinier. It takes more time to get in there. There's a lot more hand stitching that's required because they're so small and I can't fit that in my machine. So the SDs tend to be a little quicker, but they take more materials, take more fabric and that sort of thing. So they're equal in price. But I'll go ahead and show a few that I've made. This is one that Lark is wearing. It is this kind of reddish colored material. It's almost, well, I would say almost a burgundy. I don't have a ton of this left, but I do have some. And then I have this black sort of wool-like material. And I will take it off here. He's wearing a really poofy wig, so sometimes his wig comes off with it. But they are lined, so they're fully lined. And I said the majority of it is hand sewn. There are a few parts that have to be done by hand just because of to finish them in some of the smaller spots. So I will show. So that's the MSD size, or the 1/4 scale size, I would say. And then here's my People 60 Karsh, who's a 1/3 scale or SD doll, and this wig got kind of. He's wearing one of the SD size ones, and so this is a gold material with a brown corduroy, and it's lined with. I have lots of different materials to line things with. So if you have preferences on colors or something special you want there. I try to use cotton materials for the lining. I think silk or satin type materials would look really neat, but they might be too slippery on the head, so I don't use them. As tempting and as pretty as it would be, but that part's not seen. Here's another, you can see the colors are reversed from the one that my People Karsh is wearing. So I'll just go through a bunch of the ones that I have. This is one of my favorite ones, and this is the one, actually the one that I made for my People Karsh, because it matches the colors of his pants that I had made him. So, and it's lined with this pretty fabric. SD black and white ones that I made. You can see the colors are reversed. So I really like the two-toned ones a lot. So lined. Little one here. Here's another one that's the reverse of this one that Lark is wearing. So a little MSD one. Oh, I didn't sew this one down. So I will sew down the tip so that, because I like how they look like that. So that's one that hasn't been sewn down. lined. And then another, this one's all solid, which it does look really classy. So if you're interested in those, best way is to send me an email. Messages that I get on YouTube are kind of haphazard, and they're difficult for me to reply to. And if you send a message, I don't usually even get a alert for that, and I can't access that as far as I can tell from my phone, and that's how I do everything on my phone. I rarely go on the actual computer. So don't send me those because I probably will never see it, unfortunately. So my email, and I'll put it down below, sighthoundlady@gmail.com. And that's pretty much the best way to get a hold of me. Like, that for sure, eventually I'll see it. So, so the hats, moving on from that topic, I have been sewing like crazy. I just love my sewing machine. I'm really enjoying it. I did make a little outfit. So let me see, I'll show you the doll head because her body hasn't gotten in here yet. And I showed this my last video. So this is my my Lutz Jury 06, and she's wearing some Doll Bakery eyes. So her, I managed to snag a girl Delph body for a really good deal, and the seller hasn't shipped it yet. Hopefully it's going to be shipped out today. I've been telling them if they don't hurry up and ship it, I will stress buy more dolls, so they better hurry up and ship. That's almost not a lie. But I made her an outfit, so when she gets in, and this will be for her, and I am afraid that it might be a little too big because the doll that I was using to try it on, I did use the same pattern for the outfit that I made for that Alfalfa, my elf leash is wearing. So I think it will look, and this can be cinched up. So this was the other thing that I did, was that I tackled this vest again, and I do like how it turned out. I think it turned out a lot better this time. This was the pattern that was in Japanese, and basically just had the pattern pieces, no complete like finished pictures of what it was supposed to look like. So there were a lot of guesswork, and I couldn't read the Japanese, and it was printed, so it wasn't like I could copy paste it into a translator. It was just very difficult. And but I like it so much, and I really wanted to be able to make it, and I really like the fitted look. So it does, this part can be undone. I put ties in here, but it does have snaps in the back, and that's the way that I remove it, because lacing this every time is a pain in the rear. I'm still trying to find eyelets that I can, small eyelets, really tiny ones, and an eyelet setter that's small enough to set those. And I do apologize, Lola's over here snoring on this side of me, and Toby's down here chewing on his bone. And to me it sounds really super loud. It's like stereo dogs making noises, which I don't notice until I'm filming. But so if you're hearing that, I'm sorry. I hope it's not too distracting. But this part comes apart, and this is totally separate too. The shirt, the vest is separate from the shirt, so I'll just take it apart here and show you. So here's the vest taken apart. And it can be cinched in more, and this can be cinched in too. So, but I really do like how the back turned out. I think it's really cute. So, and it's lined. And then this is the shirt. And the sleeves, I don't know. Like I might redo part of the sleeves. I'm just not happy with them. And I don't know, I'm not quite sure what it is. But this is lined inside, and I finally got this right. This part I was always struggled with how to do this. I did the step wrongs. But this is hand sewn in here so that there are no there's no bits that come through. Everything, there's no frayed edges that show through. So very happy with that part. I think that's the first time that I've successfully like done that in a bodice. So this is the pair of pants that I made, and so they're in the breeches style with the they have the gusset in the back, and then these open up, like I said. And so this is, it's not super snug. It's a looser fit, but it can be cinched up. And this is lined too inside. So, and I could always line these with like a white fabric or white broadcloth. If you're worried about staining and stuff, you know, I'm just not so much. But I like how it looks. It looks pretty. I like things to be pretty inside and out. I like how the pockets turned out. I love this fabric. Love this fabric. This was part of the fabric haul that I got a couple weeks ago. So I don't know. This is people ask me and say, you know, hey, they want to buy things, and I don't know. I think it takes me a really long time to make these things. It takes a lot of materials. It takes a lot of time. The amount that I would have to charge for like a pair of pants, either in this style or the jeans style pattern like I was making for the Vinitos. I mean, I literally, for the amount of time that it takes, and if I made minimum wage, I'd have to charge like $50 a pair for these pants. And that's if I paid myself minimum wage. So I know people complain about the prices of Dolly items. And I understand. I mean, I'm always looking for a deal. I'm always looking for a deal, and you're always trying to save money, you know. So, I mean, I understand that, and because I do the same. But there is no way that I can compete with slave labor in China. I don't want to. I don't want to compete with that. So, I'll never be able to sell items like this for like $12. You know, it's just not going to happen. I mean, I might as well be giving them away as gifts, you know, and that's the way I look at it, is like, okay, I could put all this time and energy and sell it for a criminal amount, or maybe I'll just give things as gifts, and that might happen, you know. And I have given things away to people, because selling them is just, yeah. That's, it really is flattering to me that people would want to buy things. You know, the hats, I kind of went a little crazy with the hats. I wanted to make a bunch of hats, and I'm still interested in making those. And I think the time ratio to the amount, I make a little bit of money, you know, make a little bit, but I really do enjoy making them. So that's not something that will last forever. I tend to get sick of things really quickly. So just saying that, just because I'm offering them for sale now doesn't mean I will be a month from now. So, but really enjoying sewing, loving my new sewing machine, and definitely obsessed with sewing right now. And that reminds me of the, I don't know if it's really a tag, it's just a point, like a conversation point that Sarah recently posted up a video. Are you addicted to dolls? I think that was the title of the video. Are you addicted to BJDs? And so people have been having a conversation about that, which I've been very entertained by, listening to people talk about it and stuff. I would say I'm obsessed, and that's the way I kind of am. Like, I'm obsessed with sewing right now, and it's Dolly related because I'm sewing Dolly related stuff. I don't have any interest in like sewing some curtains or clothes for myself, or so. I don't have any interest in that. So it's Dolly. It is Dolly related, but that's what I would say about myself is that anything that I do and that I have an interest in, um, I I tend to just be really hardcore about it. So um, I don't think I'm addicted to dolls, but I am obsessed with them. I still do all the other things that I need to do. You know, I have a full-time job. I balance taking care of my family and home and my husband. And but I do spend a lot of my free time doing doll related stuff, and it's always on my mind. It's always on my mind, and I consider that a happy thing. Like I'm so glad that I have that, because there's a lot of hard things in life. There's a lot of not good things that we all have to deal with. You know, we all have our bad. Got cut off there, but we all have our we all have hard things that we have to do and deal with in our lives, and we all have our battles basically. So anything that can be a happy thing that we can hold on to during those times, I think is a real positive. But I just tend to be a very driven, ambitious person, and I've just been that way all my life. Whatever I'm interested in, I do it very hard. And you know, and there's a time and the place for everything. Sarah, I mean, she's young. You're young. You are really dealing with a lot of life issues like moving, family issues, and you know, there's a time and a place where sometimes you're going to be able to do that less or more. It's going to be more restrained to fit everything in, and I think that's kind of a myth of our modern society too, is that you can do and be everything all the time, and you can't. That is one of the things that especially I think especially for women. I think especially for women, this is something that, you know, we can have a career, we can have children, we can be perfect housewives, we can do all these social activities, we can do it all, and be beautiful and everything and be Wonder Women basically. And I think we are Wonder Women, but something's gonna give. You know, you can't do all of those things perfectly, and so there's a time and a place for everything. When I was in school, you know, I was an undergraduate getting my biology degree for 4 years, and then I was in veterinary school for another 4 years after that. So I was about, I don't know, 25, something like that, when I graduated. From veterinary school, and started my career, and that was there wasn't a lot of other things that I could do or was able to do during that time that I was in school. Like, studies were very, very intense. I was working too. That was you know, I didn't have anybody helping me money-wise or anything like that. Like, if I wanted to do something or needed something or anything like that, I mean, it was just 100% me. My family wasn't able to help me that way. And that's just the way it was. I mean, that's not something I resent or anything. But a lot of the art stuff that I had always enjoyed all my life, I mean, I'd always been an artistic person, very much took a back burner. I hardly did any art. I didn't do any writing, I didn't do art, I just didn't do those things during school. It just didn't happen. There was too many other things on my plate. And once I graduated and started working, it seems kind of funny or kind of backwards, but my free time, I actually got this thing called free time again. And so I really just dived back into art and creativity and writing and drawing and all those sorts of things. So, you know, things come and go, and if you're feeling really passionate about something, that's a good thing. It's a real, I consider it a good thing. So, but when I was in school and I was doing that, I mean, that's where I directed all of my passion and energy. You know, um, I was going to be a good doctor, and I was going to really do everything I could to make sure I was on track for that. You know, it's very competitive to get into veterinary school, so in undergraduate, I was doing tons and tons of volunteer work, working in veterinary hospitals, working in a variety of veterinary hospitals, and some of those were paid, but a lot of them weren't. So it took up all of my time. And then I got into veterinary school, and then I was very, very extremely devoted to my studies, and I wanted to be the best doctor I could, the best surgeon I could be. So there's times in your life for different things, and that's okay. So I have, you know, that this question of are you addicted to dolls, and Sarah made a comment about some people buying too many dolls, and she wasn't saying it in a bad way or anything. It was kind of funny, but it's like, I'll strap that shoe on. That shoe fits me okay. I'm buying a lot of dolls. You know, I got my first BJD, came in September 2014, and so it's been a little over 2 years, and I pretty nearly have about 40 dolls, you know, and these are ball jointed resin dolls, and they're not all big SDs, you know, but a lot of them are. A lot of them are bigger dolls. So gone real hard. But I'm at a time in my life where, you know, I kind of have the freedom to do that, which I'm grateful for. So, and it's kind of a decision that I've made that, like, this is important to me, and this is what I will say. This is probably the first real kind of material thing, where what I would say material, like possessions. I had toys when I was little, and I collected toys, and I had Transformers and My Little Ponies and Care Bears, and so I had a lot of that. The prices were definitely a lot different, but we were also, you know, economically, we weren't very well off. My mom was a single mother, and we were on welfare a lot of the times, and so there wasn't a lot of money and that sort of thing. And I would say that this is probably the most materially spoiled I've allowed myself to be in my entire life. And I don't know, I guess people could make arguments that that's bad, and, you know, spiritually it's wrong, and there was a time in my life where I, you know, really believed that, and facilitate, because I lived in poverty for years while I was in school. So I was very, very skinny. I was very, very skinny, and it wasn't because I worked out a lot and worked on my body. It was because I didn't have a lot of food. So I look back at pictures of me and I'm like, wow, I look great, but I was hungry. So I look back and there's things that I miss about those times, but there's things that I don't. So this is probably the most materially spoiled I've allowed myself to be in my entire life. And I'm 40 now. So I feel like I've earned this, okay? But I'm having a really good time with it. Like I said, there's a lot of not great things that are going on in life. And if you can find something that really makes you happy and gives you a reason to get through that really bad day, like, and that's what this is for me. Like, there's things that I have to get through that are very, very difficult, and you know, it's always kind of my reward, that you know, I'll get to do these things if I do these things. We all can be reward motivated even at 40. So I think maybe I'll do it in another video, because I think I'm like almost a half an hour into this. I do want to do the end of the year BJD tag. but I'm still waiting on some dolls and resin, bodies, and miscellaneous things. So I'm hoping that those things will come in before the end of the year. I mean, I guess it's not that big a deal if I end up doing it in January or whatever. It's not a big deal. But I sent out my Veneto to Face Up Artists. Her name is Silent Wayfarer on Instagram. She does these really broody faces with these eyebrows that are just, I love it. I can't wait to see my Veneto in her style because it's perfect. I sent her another doll head that I sent along with him, which I'm going to leave as a surprise until she comes back. I gave part of it away. I will say it's a Merry Doll Round doll, so I'll say that. But I'll leave that for a surprise when she comes back so that you guys can meet her. And I need to make her some clothes and stuff. So, that. I also am waiting on my Sleetwealth Vanessa doll is off visiting Lunar BJD, and she's like face and body and everything. She's off to have everything done. And I sent her a while ago. There might have been a time this summer where maybe I could have thought about tackling her, but I'm okay with her being done by somebody else. I do. I know I just watched a video from Ann Doll, and I know she was experimenting with some method of using for sealants. She's experimenting with sealants because that's my big problem. I can't do anything right now. I mean, it's not going to be above freezing all week, and any days that we've had that are warmer are raining. And you know, it's winter, and I'm not able to do any sealing, and I do tend to do, especially if I've been trying to blush to match like I did with my Eloy head. I need to be able to seal things, and I need to be able to do it a lot. So I know that she was mentioning something, I forget the name of the stuff. It's the non-toxic stuff, and she was spraying it with a little bottle or something. So I'd like to find out more about that and see if that would be a possibility for me, because I don't have an airbrush, and that might be something, is to just get one of those like really super cheapo makeup airbrushes. I don't know. I've heard people say you can get them for 60 or 80 bucks. So we'll see. I don't know how devoted I am to that. So that's why I'm okay with these dolls. And I finally was like, you know, I want these dolls to be done. Morpheo's body isn't going to be here for a while, and I'm still toying with the idea of getting him a tan body. So that's what I would really, really like to do. And so that's going to require a lot of layers, and the blushing like I did with Kihern, that's a process. And it needs lots of spraying in perfect conditions, or your week's worth of work will get ruined. So I'm just not even going to attempt that with those weather conditions, because I would probably get really frustrated and cry a lot. I do have, there's another doll that hopefully will be here before the end of the year. I think she will. And she's gonna need a face up too. So I don't know. Maybe I'll just be sending more dolls down to Silent Wayfarer. I think she's in like Southern California, so dry, hot, even in the winter. Oh, we'll see. We'll see how I feel about things. And Lola is snoring up a storm. So I think I will wrap this one up, and maybe I will do it in another video. I just got done watching Gina's video. It was a holiday tag, and it was really cute, and so I think maybe I'll do that one. So I'll wrap this up. I'll wish you guys a happy Tuesday, and I hope you're having a great week and life is treating you good. And email me if you want hats, okay? All right, bye-bye.